Good afternoon, folks. How are we doing? I hope you're well. It is now 2025. I have literally no idea what happened to the last year. It has just absolutely flown by. But somehow, indeed, it is 2025. I hope you are all well. I hope you had an enjoyable, or at the very least, a relatively stress-free festive break. I think that's all some people can ask for. So I hope that is indeed what you got. 2025 is, I was reflecting on this earlier, 2025 is the year I turned 40. So that is yeah, that's a thing. That's a thing. Still many months away yet. It's August, so don't worry about that for a little while. But there we go. We are in. Oh, no, I regret to even say this. In theory, we are starting this year with a proper schedule. So in theory, everything's happening as normal. Geeky chat, lunch chat today, with games on Wednesday, and we'll try and keep that going for as many weeks as we can. I know there's definitely a week coming up this month where we can't do the lunch chat on Wednesday because I have to be in the office, but let's try and keep to some sort of routine for as long as humanly possible. And I will take a moment to say thank you so much to the wonderful people I can see in chat. Even if you're just a lurk in there, I really do appreciate it. So thank you so much. I can see Papaya, I can see Mashashi, I can see Moondust Cats. Thank you so much for sticking your heads in. I really do appreciate it. You are all awesome people. Let's run through a few housekeeping bits and pieces nice and quickly. So Brain has already gone already. That's a great start, isn't it? So, festive break, didn't really go anywhere, just mostly kind of seeing family, doing bits and pieces, keeping the little one entertained, which is a thing. I've definitely been talking to some people, work colleagues today, saying that in a slightly weird way, there's something nice about going back to the day job after holidays, because holidays great, seeing family amazing, but you do run out of things to do with the little ones, or little one in our case. So getting back to a routine and talking to adults is actually quite nice. There we go. Didn't really have any snow. We technically had a small flurry of it at about 2 o'clock in the morning the other day, but then it was gone by the day. So alas, we went through a Christmas with no snow, but what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Any other bits and pieces of festive news? I'll probably talk more about this in a future stream, but randomly we went to the circus the other day. We were looking for something to do. We found a Groupon voucher for a nearby circus. Not animals, because I'm pretty sure it's illegal nowadays. But it was incredible, genuinely. I'm not sure if I've ever actually been to a circus. Maybe I have as a kid, but it was Santa Circus. They tour the UK, and I will clarify, it's Santa's, TUS, not Santa's, which would be very thematic for Christmas. But no, absolutely incredible, really was. There were a number of times where I thought I was going to see someone die in front of me, but they are bloody talented acrobats and performers. So that was really enjoyable and unexpected, which is nice. Other bits of housekeeping-y stuff. Well, as Mash is in the room, let's definitely talk about this. So we have coming out. Well, it's available for pre-ordering. I've spoken about this before, so Treat Your Geek, of which I'm not officially part of it, but I'm involved in this wonderful project. And do follow Treat Your Geek if you don't already in all of the places. But Treat Your Geek are producing a short story collection, a romantasy short story collection called An Adventurer's Guide to Love, Life and Villainy. It is available for pre-ordering now. Just follow that cool link that I just dropped into the chat. It is 6 short stories, of which I've written one of them. And it's not a genre I would normally write. Not that I've got anything against it, just slightly out of my normal comfort zone of writing, so which meant I rather enjoyed writing it. But yeah, so I wrote one of the 6 of them. I was involved in editing all the rest of them. And I can say that they're very enjoyable. So if romantasy is something of interest to you, and I think it probably is, do take a look at that. I believe it's available for pre-order digital edition. I think it's $1.99, so an absolute steal. An absolute steal. So do check that out. What other stuff in news? Well, we hit a YouTube milestone, which is fantastic. In fact, we hit 2 YouTube milestones. I wanted to hit 100. The original goal was I wanted to hit 150 subscribers on YouTube by the end of the year, and we managed to do that, largely thanks to the Shought Thorts interview with Deborah Wild, which the response has been absolutely great to. It really has. And then I thought, well, let's just chance it and see, can I hit 200 by the end of the year? And thanks to some really awesome people out there promoting it, sharing it, bribing people, etc. We hit that, which is amazing. I think we're on 203 now, which is fantastic. So thank you so much for that. I will do a quick Shought Thorts plug if it wants to work. There we go. So please, I'm pretty sure everyone who's here is already following, but for people who may be watching this or lurking, please follow me on YouTube for Shought Thorts. My bite-sized interview show comes out every fortnight. We had 2 episodes drop over sort of the Christmas period. We had the episode with Deborah Wild, which is an absolute delight. Very, very silly. And I'm still kind of amazed that she agreed to do it. But that was so much fun. And we also had another episode come out last Friday, which was with Ben Newbon. If you don't know, Ben is an amazing tabletop RPG writer and designer. 2 fantastic episodes. Do watch them, do enjoy them. Please like, comment, share with people. And then this Friday, I will announce next Friday's guest, which is another cracking episode. It really is. So I'm having a lot of fun doing this right now. And I'm recording another episode tonight, actually. So I am in that whole midst of recording and editing and doing all that good stuff. So yeah, do check that out. And the last thing I'll mention on Shought Thorts, actually, is Christmas presents. I got some books. My family responded to my request for, if you're not sure what to buy me, get me some books that people have recommended on Shought Thorts. So we have Kafka on the Shore, we have Slade House, and we had Meditations by Marcus Aurelius, as recommended by these 2 were Rich of Hatchlings Games, and this was B. Dave Walters. So thank you so much for those. I very much look forward to reading them, which is kind of cool. I think that's it for intro-y stuff. So I'm going to take a swig of drink, and let's talk about the main stuff I want to talk about today. So, going back to Christmas and what I've been doing a lot of over Christmas is we've been playing quite a lot of board games, which is great. I do enjoy a good tabletop board game, but more specifically, we've been playing quite a few games for kids and families because my daughter is 5 now, and it actually is of an age that she can enjoy a lot of these either games specifically for kids or kid versions of existing franchises, which has definitely become a thing. There are, largely speaking, 2 brands of them, but there are others as well, and I can't remember which companies do which. There are some that are called My First X, and then there's X Junior, which basically is the same thing. Essentially take an established tabletop role-playing game and then simplify the rules, and potentially rebrand it a bit to make it more accessible to kids. So I got 2 games along those lines for my daughter. I picked them actually earlier on in the year because I saw them cheaply. I gave her one of them for Christmas, the other one I'm holding back for a while. Just because in theory you've got to be 6 for it, so I'll hold back for a time where she deserves a reward. We also got, my mum bought her one for Christmas as well, and actually I had one that was stashed away. You may even have seen it in the background before, which I was bought by a friend of mine, something that I might want to play with my daughter at some point, and recommended for age 5 and above, so I got that over Christmas, and that was very, very fun as well. So let's talk a little bit about these. I'd say all the 3 I'm going to talk about today are a load of fun. They really, really are. So first, I would heartily recommend all of these, but I thought I'd talk a little bit about them because they're all a bit different. So the first one is Catan Junior. I believe it did have another brand. It may have been called My First Catan at one stage, I'm not sure, but I've got the version which is Catan Junior. So this is obviously a version of Settlers of Catan that has been rebranded for kids. We're going on a big Settlers of Catan thing recently, having done a couple of streams of playing it. But it's great. So they've taken Settlers of Catan, which is normally, you are populating this landscape or whatever, not colonialist, but certainly you're settling the new land or whatever it is. They've rebranded it. It's now pirates. It's all about pirates and building pirate ships and pirate lairs and acquiring parrots. A lot of the mechanics are still there. You are putting stuff down adjacent to hexes. You are rolling dice, in this case a single die. You're getting resources, and you are trading those resources in order to build the things you need. Now, there's not as many things you need to get in order to do them. The resources are, and I'll try and get this right, wood, had to be there, barrels of molasses, gold, goats, and I'm going to forget the other one, cutlasses. Absolutely. So you do get odd things, like I'm going to build a ship using some wood and goats. I'm not quite sure how you do that, either practically or ethically, but that's how it works. And it's a hell of a lot of fun. It really is. They've done a good job of keeping the core mechanics, but streamlining it down so it's accessible. We've had a huge amount of fun playing it. I've lost track of the number of times we've played it, actually, and I've played it in various permutations. Like I played 2-player games just with my daughter. My wife's joined in for 3-player games. We've played 4-player games. We've had other family members visiting. Very, very accessible. An awful lot of fun. My daughter, I found, it is very good quickly at doing the trading. She's really, really good. She does sort of fixate on stuff. I'll talk about that in just a second. But she very quickly got the idea of, oh, I need one of these and one of these. So if I trade this for that, that gets me one of those. I can trade 2 of them with the box in order to get one thing back. And she's very good at the wheeling and dealing side of things. A caveat, though, there is a strategy that you can use in the game to get a lot of resources quite quickly, which involves the buying of parrots. You can also... parrots can help you win the game directly as well in 2 ways. There are some parrot cards that let you immediately build lairs and ships. Also, the person with the most parrots immediately gets to put a lair on the board, so essentially that gets you one place closer to winning. She's become a bit obsessed with parrots. In the first few games, she was playing incredibly well. And then once she realised she could buy parrots, the more recent times we played, she just tried to buy as many parrots as possible to the detriment of actually winning. So I think we need to wean her off the parrots a little bit. But she's doing really, really well with it, which is fantastic, because there's an awful lot to it, in theory, and I wasn't sure how well she would respond to some of the complexities of it. But no, she's had a whale of a time. We've really enjoyed playing it. Sometimes... I think it's a game, though, when she's in the right mood for it, and for doing a whole game. Clearly, I've never played the game if she wasn't actually in the mood to play it. But sometimes she's in the mood to play it, and then, because she's getting tired, near the end of the game, she gets a little bit silly, and then we kind of have to call it. But that's fine. But she's really, really enjoyed playing it, and we've collectively enjoyed playing it as a family. And I think it will be a really good step towards playing the full Settlers of Catan, which gets a bit older, because the mechanics are so similar that actually stepping up to the real one, I don't think will be too bad at all. So there, that first one, Catan Junior, thoroughly recommend it, very enjoyable. The second one, the one my mum got on my recommendation, is My First Carcassone, which, let's get round, looks at a glance very similar to the Carcassone that certainly most people know and love. What have they done with My First Carcassone? Well, this is an odd one, because in a sense they've kept it very similar, but also they've actually flipped it around, which is odd. So essentially, in a similar way to regular Carcassonne, you've got meeples, you've got tiles. Now, the tiles, they've simplified that essentially it's all about roads. So you don't have to build cities and stuff like that. And in fact, every tile has 4 road exits on it, essentially. So you are always in a position where any tile can go anywhere, which I think is an important thing to simplify the rules for kids. Now, the tiles themselves, I might actually try and pull out one of these and show it to the camera. The tiles themselves, and I shouldn't have tipped the box up because now everything's gone everywhere. The tiles themselves, let's try and do that. Yeah, as you'll see on there, they have coloured people on there. In this case, a blue person and a yellow person. And there are 3 colours of people, which is, as you can kind of see in the adorable design on the cover, they're designed in these 4 characters here. We've got, I can't do this backwards, the blue girl there, red, purple, and yellow up there. And you see these all over the tiles. Now, in standard Carcassonne, what you do is you put tiles down and you place your meeples on there to kind of earmark the feature, whether it's the road or a building or whatever it might be, your farmers, etc., etc. You claim it as your own, and then when you complete the road or building or castle or whatever it might be, you get the meeple back, and you get points for it. So you put the meeple down to claim it, you complete it, you take them off the board and get points. In my first Carcassonne, you actually do the reverse, which is kind of odd. So in my first Carcassonne, there are characters, as you saw, printed on the tiles already. Then when you complete a road, you put the corresponding coloured meeples on the roads in the places shown on the tiles to effectively get points. And then the first person to win is the person who places all their meeples first. So in that sense, it's kind of a reverse of standard Carcassonne. Because in this case, your goal is to get all the meeples on the board and then you win, whereas in standard Carcassonne, you want to put them on the board and then take them off to get points. So in that sense, I think moving from my first Carcassonne to full Carcassonne is a little trickier in terms of the headspace of what you've got to do, but I don't think completely inaccessible. But we very much enjoyed that. Hey Mash, how are you doing? I'm all right. I just talked a little bit about Adventurer's Guide to Love, Life and Villainy, and we are now talking about board games for families and kids, which we've been playing an awful lot of over Christmas. I hope you are doing well. So my first Carcassonne, huge amount of fun with that one. My daughter's responded really well to it. The rest of the family have responded really well to it. She gets a little frustrated if she doesn't win in it, whereas less so with Catan, which is odd. Not quite sure why, but yeah, we've all had a really good time with that, and it's nice to vary between those 2 games, which is great. So just reading chat here, got 3 covers planned for the future. Ooh, exciting stuff. I look forward to seeing more of them. Because I love the covers for Adventurer's Guide to Love, Life and Villainy. It's very cool. The other game I wanted to talk about is the one that I was given by my friend Goblin Squire. God, like a year and a bit ago. And it's been on my shelf for a long time because I recommended for ages 5 and above. And I think with hindsight, I probably could have introduced it to my daughter earlier. But because we're on kind of a board game kick, I thought this is the time to pull this game out. And actually, I looked at a list of board games for kids that recommended this. So I decided it was now the time to play it. And this is Outfoxed. Sorry, I'll get rid of the reflection from the ring lights. This is Outfoxed, a cooperative whodunit game. So there's sort of elements of Cluedo in it, broadly speaking. But the idea is you are playing, and I'll hold the box up for a second so you can see this. So you are playing Detective Pigeons, investigating the crime of which fox stole the pie. And the idea is on your turn you are moving around a board. You've got to either collect clues or reveal suspects. There are 16 suspect cards with various designs of foxes on them. Each fox character, and I'll try and pull out the card here. Oh, thank you so much, Tenux, for the follow. I really do appreciate it. I hope you're having a great time, and thank you so much for the follow. I hope you enjoy it. So, when you look at, let me try and pull out a card here. So, the fox cards look a bit like this. So this is Lily the fox. Now you can see, looking at her, she has an umbrella, she's wearing white gloves, and she has a string of pearls. Hey Swifty, how are we doing? Thank you so much for joining this lunchtime. And thank you Tanooks. Very, very cool for you to join today. So each of the 16 foxes has 3 items on them. And so you need to kind of reveal those suspects so you can see who's there. And then you gather clues about those items. And essentially you do a standard whodunit thing. You eventually figure out that, for example, the fox that stole the pie has an umbrella and a hat, but they don't have a pocket watch. And then you're flipping the cards over to figure out who's left over at the end, which is very, very cool. The thing I particularly like about it, and I might not be able to demonstrate this, or it might not come off totally well on camera, is the mechanics for how you do it. So you have this little gizmo here, this little plastic guy, and at the start you get a thief card that has got a pattern of dots on it, and you draw it without looking at it, and you chuck it. I'm trying to balance stuff on me here. You put it into the little thing he tries to do. There you go. And then during the game, when you get a clue, you pop the clue, in this case an umbrella, on the little decoder, slide the thing across, and it will reveal, let's see if I can show you it here. You can see that a little green dot is revealed. That tells me that the fox that stole the pie does indeed have an umbrella. And it's a lovely, simple piece of kit. I say it's just revealing these dots on there, and each of the clues has the dot in a different place. So you can see 3 clues will reveal a green dot, the others will reveal white, and it's just wonderful. It is a lovely piece of mechanical kit that makes that possible. My daughter absolutely bloody loves it. She does the whole CSI thing. She's constantly wanting to check the clues. Even the clues we know it's either a yes or a no already. She's constantly wanting to recheck them because she likes putting the thing in, sliding it across and seeing whether it's green or white. It's wonderful. It's a really nice game. Again, a bit different to some of the others on there. But I've had a huge amount of time playing it with my daughter. As a family, very, very replayable. So I would heartily recommend that one. So that was Outfoxed, a cooperative whodunit game. Huge amount of fun on that one. And there are others out there. Now I've kind of opened this door in terms of board games for kids. I now want to get more of them, quite frankly. Don't want to spoil the little one too much. So slowly but surely, whether these are Christmases or birthdays or big rewards for, you know, whatever she might be achieving in school. But I want to play more of these with her. I do have stashed away in the cupboard my first Stone Age, which like I said, I bought last year when it was cheap. So I'm looking forward to playing that with her because I really enjoy Stone Age. I would love to see how they've simplified it, because Stone Age is a little bit complex, even for some adults, to be honest. So the fact that they've managed to boil it down to a kid's version, I'm very excited to see how they've done that. I'm aware there is Ticket to Ride First Journey, and I love Ticket to Ride. My wife loves Ticket to Ride, so that'll be an awful lot of fun to play. And I believe there is, I can't quite remember the branding, I think it's My First Castle Panic, which would be good, because Castle Panic's pretty accessible in and of itself to begin with. So a kid's version, I think, should be an awful lot of fun. And I'm very curious about others out there, whether it's kidified versions of established games, because I'm loving the 2 I've played so far, or games like Outfoxed, which are of the style of modern tabletop board games but designed for kids. And there is a difference there, because clearly there are an awful lot of games that are designed for kids, like Hungry Hungry Hippos, say, which we did end up playing quite a bit of over Christmas as well. But things like Outfoxed are of the style of a modern tabletop board game for adults, but it's aimed for kids and families. So that's brilliant. And I'm absolutely loving these. It's been an awful lot of fun, and it's nice to have... It's nice to be able to play games as a family, rather than necessarily either those very, very kiddie games, or I will absolutely sit down and play toys with my daughter. If she's wants to play Spidey and His Amazing Friends or Paw Patrol or whatever it is, but you do reach saturation on that. Whereas it's quite nice to be playing a board game where we're all enjoying it. It's stretching my daughter's brain a little bit as well, and it's a nice thing we can all do collectively together and all be enjoying it throughout the duration of the activity, because there is only so much Paw Patrol anyone can take before you need to take a break and do something else. Literally anything else. But there we go. So what else? Well, this second one is, if you've been following me on here for a while, there was, I talked a little bit about trading card games. So when we moved house down from Scotland, I did a lot of eBaying of stuff. We downsized in the move down from Scotland to England just because of house prices being what they are. And there was an awful lot of stuff that was either cluttering the house or stuff I'd had in the garage of the old house that I'd been meaning to get rid of for a while, and this was the time to do it. And one of the things we ended up eBaying was all mine and my brother's old CCG and TCG cards. We had a lot of old Magic the Gathering, Lord of the Rings, Star Trek, Star Wars, stuff that we played in our teens. I'd been gathering dust in my mum's loft for many, many years, and people do still collect them, so we ended up selling them and got a little bit of money to share between the pair of us, which was great. But it kind of opened my brain back up to how fun those games were, and some part of me has always wanted to go, wouldn't it be nice to go back to Magic the Gathering or something like that again? Because obviously it's still going. And every time I go to conventions and see stuff, I think, oh God, it'd be lovely to play Magic the Gathering again. But while I am an adult who has a salary, games like that generally cost an awful lot of money if you really want to get stuck into them. And it's not like a one and done thing where you can just buy the box and be done with it. Inevitably you end up sinking a lot of cash into them. And then I did something stupid. Then at Tabletop Scotland this year, I ended up playing a game of Lorcana. Now, if you have not come across Lorcana already, so Lorcana is a game made by Ravensburger, and it is essentially a Disney-themed TCG. I'm not sure if it's a TCG or a CCG, but regardless, it's a collectible card game of that style of Magic the Gathering. And the mechanics are very similar to Magic the Gathering. And I must say, I played that sample game at Tabletop Scotland and really bloody enjoyed it. And it's just been there, like an itch in the back of my head for the last few months of, I'd quite like to play Lorcana. I can't dedicate loads of time to it, and certainly not loads of money to it, because I just can't and won't do that. But I really wanted to play a bit of Lorcana. And then over Christmas we were doing some Christmas shopping, and I saw in Asda a starter box set of it selling pretty cheap. It was about like 15 quid for something that should be 25 quid. And I thought, sod it, let's buy it. And then well, actually, let's talk about the first stupid thing before the second stupid thing. So I've had a look at the box set of it, and it looks like they've done a really good job of feeding you the rules slowly. So I'm looking forward to playing that, hopefully with my wife, playing that I think possibly with my niece, who's in her early 20s, who I think will really enjoy it, as a way to introduce these sorts of games. But then I thought, well, actually, there's only so much you can play a single box set, and it would be nice to have some more cards, but I don't want to sink a load of money into this, because a booster box, each booster pack, for those who've not indulged in this hobby before, a booster pack will contain some random cards, commons, uncommons, maybe some rares, etc., etc. Nowadays, they'll set you back about £4 or £5 for a booster pack. If you buy a booster box of 24 packs, you're talking maybe like 110, 120 quid. So not a small amount of money for something that you don't know how much you're going to be actually playing. So I was good. And I said, look, I am not going to spend that kind of money. I can't justify it. We just had freaking Christmas, and a really expensive mortgage and stuff like that. I'm not going to splurge on something like that as a whim. But I did have a look on eBay, and there are clearly some people, there are clearly loads of people who collect this, and they try and get like the legendary cards and all the really, really high rarity stuff. And what they're doing is they're buying booster boxes, like they're sinking £110, £220 to get bulk cards. They are opening those packs, taking out the ultra rares if they get them, and flogging everything else dirt cheap. Because they don't want them. They've got millions of commons and uncommons, and even rares they don't care about. They're just looking for specific ultra rares that they think they can get a really good price for or complete their collection. So I had a look on eBay and I saw that someone was selling 3 booster boxes of the latest expansion for Lorcana, which is pirate theme, freaking amazing, for like 30 quid. You know, and it was just the commons, uncommons, and rares out of this box. But like, you know, so 3 booster boxes should be worth like 330 quid. They've taken out the ultra rares, so you know you're not going to get them. But the rest of it is just a load of cards, a load of pirate-themed Disney cards, more than enough stuff to be making loads and loads of decks worth of, and playing it quite casually. In theory, not needing to buy anything more of it, you know, for a very, very long time, because actually there's loads of bloody stuff there. And it's so damn pretty. So I splurged, I bought that. And I spent the last couple of evenings sorting through them, and being good as an adult, sticking them in sleeves, and sticking the rares in a file so they don't get all knackered. But the artwork is lovely. It's lovely Disney stuff of a pirate theme. So you can see Pirate Stitch there, for example, and it's just wonderful. And I'm really looking forward to playing this. One with my family, but also, I can get a deck together and then take it to, when I'm going to conventions and stuff like that. I'm looking forward to playing this, and I think the approach I've taken to buying this, in that I've managed to do it almost as a one and done thing. It's like I've bought it, I've got loads of cards now, I've got more than enough to build decks and lots of different types of deck, without having to turning it into the money pit of I need more, I need to buy more, because I just can't, I cannot and will not justify that. But I'm really, really looking forward to playing it. This is so weird, but in all that eBaying of the CCG cards, of all the old Magic and Lord of the Rings stuff, every so often I have a dream about buying cards, and like I said, it's just been there like this itch that needs to be scratched, and now I think itch has been scratched. I'm looking forward to playing it, and I'm not gonna chuck more money into this, but I think it should be a lot of fun. So if you are a Lorcana player out there, awesome. Let me know. I'm open to advice on good ways to play and things to have a look at and explore. If you've not looked at Lorcana, maybe give it a look. I said I played it. It's pretty simple, but not patronisingly so. As in, it's really easy to get started, and then you can build on the more complex stuff afterwards. And the fact that people are just selling bulk cards on like eBay and Facebook Marketplace and stuff like that, you can very easily get enough cards that you can play this casually without having to sink the kind of money that some people do sink into this. Because clearly some people are obsessively buying this game to try and get the ultra rare foils and stuff like that. So do check it out if you haven't already. And I will report back once I've played some games of it. Because I'm really looking forward to it, I'm not going to lie. It's a lot of fun. Right, I think we will start to wrap this up a bit, because I'm hungry. This is a lunch stream, but I didn't manage to actually scoff any lunch before we started, so I'm going to need to go and eat something and then get back to my day job. But thank you so much for joining. I will do the standard spiel and bits and bobs, especially as we have quite a few people in the room and a new follower, so thank you so much for that. If you've enjoyed this, please check out, well, first of all, check out my website, dcbradshaw.com. There you will find, another follower. Thank you, Scruff. I really do appreciate it. You are freaking awesome. Please check out dcbradshaw.com. There you'll find all my tabletop RPG content that I write. You'll find my education stuff. You'll find my voice acting reels. You will find Shought Thorts. And soon I will stick up a link to the short story collection by Treat Your Geek as well. So do check out dcbradshaw.com. If you don't follow me on socials, the main places you'll find me are Blue Sky. I'm at dcbradshaw.com. I'm on Threads at dcbradshaw. Really, that's about it. If you would like to support me, I do have a Ko-Fi. It's here, ko-fi.com/dcbradshawrpg, where you can support me for £3 a month. That's, it pays for subscriptions for creative stuff, essentially. I don't really get any profit out of my Ko-Fi. It just helps pay for some of the subscriptions I need for stuff to make content. The big one, though, as I talked about previously, I have a bite-sized interview series called Shought Thorts. Each episode is 13 to 15 minutes long. Each time I interview someone from the gaming industry, whether that's a tabletop RPG writer or a voice actor or all kinds of people. I've interviewed artists, and we've got about 14 episodes out so far. And like I said, each one is bite-sized. It's 13 to 15 minutes, so it's not something you have to sink a lot of time into. It's the perfect thing to watch or listen to while you're grabbing lunch, having breakfast, something to listen to while you're nipping down to the shops, because I know no one has the time. There's too much content out there. If you watch actual plays, they're dropping 3 to 4 hours worth of content every single week. I'm not asking that from you, but check out Shought Thorts. I think it's an awful lot of fun. I ask my guests 10 somewhat silly questions. Each conversation is generally pretty silly, but there's some deep and meaningful bits in there as well, which I think you'll enjoy. Last episode was with Ben Newbon, who's a fantastic tabletop RPG writer and designer. The previous episode, though, is the one which I think a lot of people have been particularly enjoying, is with Deborah Wild, better known as the voice of Lae'zel of Kresh Kalir in Baldur's Gate 3. Dev was an absolute delight. It's a wonderful episode, very silly, especially if you like pirates. So do check that out, and a subscription there would be absolutely wonderful. So if you've not checked out Shought Thorts, that's it. The link is there for the YouTube. Please subscribe there, watch some episodes, share them with your friends, and alternatively, or as well as if you like, it is also available in podcast form. So if you search on any reasonable podcast provider, particularly Apple and Spotify and Amazon Music, you will find Shought Thorts there. So if you prefer it in an audio format, that's absolutely cool as well. It's there for you, but please, rate it 5 stars. That would be wonderful. Algorithms are an absolute bitch. So anything you can do to share stuff makes my life a lot better. Because my goal this year, following in Treat Your Geek's footsteps in this one, I want to try and get to the monetization point of my YouTube this year. I'm on like 203 subscribers right now. At the very least this year, I'd like to get to 500. It would be amazing to get 1,000 this year. We'll see. At the very least, I want to get to 500. We might be able to get beyond that this year. We'll see. I think that is about it. So I'm going to see if there's anyone for the raiding. What have we got? We've got Lali on cosplay, and we've got Sleepiest. They are both doing pretty chill streams there. I think Sleepiest is doing a co-working stream. Lalian is doing just chatting. So I think we will maybe go across to Lalian cosplay. Anya is an absolute delight. And as a little freebie for you on this one, I'm actually interviewing her tonight for an episode that'll come out probably in like a month or so's time. Yeah, let's go and raid Anya. So if you are watching on YouTube, we're going to cut out in just a second. If you are on Twitch, as most of you are, please come along for the raid. That would be brilliant. And I now need to not break stuff when I do this, because I'm still kind of new to the restream parallel streaming thing. And it's been a few weeks off. So let's try not to absolutely cock this up. I hope you have an amazing day. And I will hopefully see you on Wednesday for lunch chat with games. All right, take care. Speak soon. Bye.